Hi, we're back. I'm wearing the same thing because it's really only been like an hour maybe since the last video I did, but maybe you're listening to this on a different day. Maybe you're wondering why my face is shiny. I haven't showered. Maybe you're probably not, but I'm wondering if you all can see. I can absolutely feel this booger in my nose, but I don't think you can see it. We're going to keep going. Still talking about creativity. Still living through a pandemic. Still carrying the endless opposing forces of this human experience in this moment, which we are all at different levels of awareness and different ways of experiencing them with. This time, I'm going to not ramble so much, I hope, and we're going to talk about why I still think creativity is more necessary than it has ever been. The third reason that we're going to talk about in this episode, I have such a hard time saying episode, it sounds so official, this ep. The third reason is I believe that the creative act returns us, at least inwardly, to a sense of wholeness. That creativity, by its nature, takes what is perceived as separate, as not belonging together, as there's no way we can stitch this shit together, and perceives it in a new way and says, by golly, yes, we can. We will invite whatever seemingly broken pieces here and conceive of a new form or way of being that brings it back and says, yes, you belong too. I've been teaching creativity for years. I have worked with thousands of artists. And I can tell you that the reason creativity is so hard to teach is because it is not a formula. There is no one right way, just like there's no one right way to do anything, by the way. But creativity is not a formula. Creativity is a way of being. Creativity is, oh God, I could wax poetic. I'm going to stop it right there and save that for a little later on and just tell you a story that I think is really beautiful. And maybe it's not a story. Maybe it's true somewhere. It's a legend. It's a Jewish legend. It's been in movies. It's been in books. I just spent the last 40 minutes researching it on the internet and all of the different places it has lived. And this is the favorite version that I found. It comes from a book by Dara Horn. And damn it, I forgot the title of the book. I'm just going to keep reading. But this is a passage of the book. Okay. Before being born, his mother explained, babies go to school. Not a school like Boris's, but a different kind of school where all the teachers are angels. The angels teach each baby the entire Torah, along with all of the secrets of the universe. Then, just before each baby is born, an angel puts its finger right below the baby's nose and whispers to the child, shh, don't tell. And then the baby forgets. Why does the baby have to forget? Boris had asked, moving his lips beneath her finger. He didn't want to know, not really, but his mother's back had stiffened and he could feel that she might get up at any moment, put out the light, walk away, disappear. She pulled her hand away from his face, resting it on her own stomach. So that for the rest of his life, she said, he will always have to pay attention to the world and to everything that happens in it, to try to remember all the things he's forgotten. I will not presume to know what your creative process is like, but in my own creative process, the best moments are when I see something or I hear a bit of inspiration or muse, and it feels like remembering. it has a resonance with my own rhythm that makes me feel like, oh yeah, that's it. And then my creative impulse and my gut tells me, this is the direction to move in. This is the next right step to take. And whether or not you believe this beautiful Jewish legend to be true, it's fun and interesting and curious to think about the possibility that maybe we all did somehow show up here carrying secrets to the universe in these psyches, in these bodies. Maybe it's something we've all possessed, and in our separateness has been erased, or many, many different experiences have made us forget. I like thinking about it that way because then when I feel far from inspiration or from creativity, I remember that my path back to feeling inspired can be so easy to ignite again. That all I have to do is start paying attention. That if I can bring what the term I use for it is profound attention to whatever is in this moment, from the cold sweatiness of my feet that make me feel nervous, to the funny sheen on my face, that somehow in that act of profound attention, a peace settles in. Even if what I'm paying attention to is uncomfortable and is hard. And then for me, my creativity is often a process of documentation, of naming the things that I've noticed, of taking dictation and trying to describe how whatever it is I'm paying attention to has felt ringing through my body. Or I don't know if you all know what synesthesia is, but sometimes when I'm taking photographs, for instance, I am looking, yes, with my eyes, but also sort of using the sensations in my body as kind of a wayfinder. And the moments that create this physical sensation in me, this gut feeling in me of recognition, those are the ones that make me tremble to click at, make me excited. Those moments where I physically feel some strange, soft merging with the light that I'm standing in, with the smile of the people in front of me. I trust that way of seeing almost and paying attention almost more than I trust these eyeballs, because actually I need glasses. Don't know if you knew that, but everything is actually just slightly soft, which I prefer for me. So creativity can return us to wholeness by not rejecting any part of our experience. We can practice this by, instead of tensing and saying no to what might be scary or challenging, we actually pause to relax, to reopen our sensory systems and ways of paying attention. And for me, I locate things where they live in my body. That's been taught to me by many, many wise teachers. And I say yes to it being there. And in doing so, I immediately have the courage or the equanimity, that sense of well-being, despite looking terror or looking fear, looking uncertainty in the eyes. I have an equanimity that allows me to respond to that and say, this too is art. Yep, you as well. Everybody's welcome here. I can think of an experience when I was photographing a client, and this is not an uncommon experience, where there was one kid who was so naughty. It's always the smart kids who are on to my game. They know my tricks. Kids are so gloriously brilliant and perceptive. They can sense the tension and the anxiety of the well-meaning parents who just want a beautiful photo, who just want, really, me as a photographer to see the child that they know and love, who they are in their sweetest moments. But because children also have a natural, adorable rebel inside of them, often when they can sense that, they want to say no. It's part of how they learn. It's their development to resist that. And so there was a naughty little kid who could feel that his parents really wanted things to go well, knew that I was a smart lady who had a lot of mechanisms to get things to go well at the photo shoot, and he just kept making faces. And I had a choice in that moment, right? A creative choice where I could just give up. Just think to myself, okay, I'm not gonna get the photos Mom wants or that I want, just let it go. And in some moments, that was actually the right dance step to take, was to just, all right, we're gonna shift, we're gonna like side step over here and do something a little different. But it dawned on me that I didn't have to reject his behavior. And so I asked Mom to let me work on him just one-on-one. And I looked at him with all the love in my heart, and also all of the I'm on to you, you beautiful little shit, in my heart. And I whispered in his ear, you know what? The naughty ones are my very favorite. Which was my way of saying yes instead of rejecting him. And that's all it took for his little mask that he was wearing, his facade, to dissolve. Not very long, but for a minute, for him to stand up and give me the gift, because it is a gift and a privilege, of showing me his essence. And his not pretending. I believe that there is a strange, bizarre beauty to every human experience. And if we can cultivate the courage to pay attention and anticipate where whatever seemingly broken thing we're experiencing can be met by some dissolving grace. That is actually the kind of security we need. Not the security of controlling outcomes and knowing what comes next, but the security of knowing that whatever comes, we can bring our creative faculties to find some sense of wholeness. I'm just repeating myself now, damn it. I wish I had a bigger vocabulary. I hope that helps. That does it as far as the 3 main reasons I think we need creativity now more than ever. Still looking for my sign-off phrase. We'll get it. We'll find it one of these times. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next, so I can't prep you for it, but thank you for being here, and thank you for letting me help you remember.